Good morning. It's so nice to be here and to share with you today. I'm sitting here in my studio. If I get hot, I can open the door, but there's quite a breeze coming in. It's a little bit cooler today after a very hot day yesterday. So I'm sitting here and hopefully this video finds you well. So this is our personal healing event for some of my patrons, my Temple of Balance patrons for February. So February 2024. So I want to first of all send out a big thank you to my patrons and especially to the 6 people on the healing list today. So welcome and thank you. So let's get comfy because we'll be here for a good hour. I have 6 people on the list today and I've popped your names here into my little frog pot. So I'll pull your names out as we go. I'll also be pulling a healing energy card at the beginning and at the end of each connection that I make. So this is personal healing times specifically for the 6 people on the healing list today. So if you're not on the healing list or if you are waiting for your turn, I trust that you've been led here for a reason and there might be something else or something for you to receive in someone else's guidance or someone else's connection today. I'm not doing readings as such, this is healing time. So what that means is I'll be tuning in to each person. So the way that I do that is that I figure out or get the name of the person I'm connecting with. Then I'm just basically thinking of that person and I imagine that I'm you if I'm connecting with you. So it sounds a bit weird, but it works for me. So I know the way my energy is configured. I know how it feels to be me. And what I've noticed over the last couple of decades really is that as I tune into people or as I think of people, I start feeling new things happening in my body and in my being. And I just had deja vu just then. So I feel things in my body, I receive visuals and go on a bit of a journey with this person in mind, and I just have to trust in that connection. It seems to work. I mean, I haven't had anyone complain or say that I'm not making a connection with them, so I guess it must work. So I just trust very much in that connection and I trust in my sensitivity to the energy. And then I have to do my best to share and express and deliver what I'm picking up as clearly as I can. I do find that I'll be sort of stuck with an image, if you like, or have an image that just won't go away, or a sensation if I'm not quite getting the right angle. Hi Saskia. If I'm not quite getting it quite right, it will stay. And then if I get it right, it then moves and shows me something else. So I kind of trust in the unfolding, and as I express it as best as I can, it will help the energy move. So I'll be spending about 10 minutes connecting with each person on the healing list today. So whatever's loudest in your energy is going to get my attention first. And then I will move through and do whatever I feel I need to do with whatever's been presented. And I just trust in that unfolding. Sometimes I have to make decisions like if something doesn't quite feel right, then I want to move it away, or I want to move it on, or I want to shift something. I have to decide whether that feels like it needs to be there or not. And I just have to trust that because I don't have any feedback or I can't check in with the person I'm tuning in with. So I really have to take leadership in some ways of the energy that's coming in and what I feel is right at the time. So I trust that whatever you need is right for you and that this helps support you in some way. So I think that's all I really need to say to begin with. So enjoy, trust you enjoy your time here. And I trust if you're one of the people on my list that you enjoy your connection. Hi, Robin. I look forward to connecting with you. We'll see when that will be. Okay. Oh, it's like maracas, isn't it? Ching, 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 ching. But anyway, I have to sort of tuck in either side here. The first person, we'll go with this person. So it is Carol White. Carol, please take a nice big breath. Where's the best place to stick you? Okay, so nice big breath, Carol. Take, and let's see which healing energy card you need. Okay, so let's get started. The best card for you, Carol, in this moment as we make this connection is Healing Energy card deck 2, and it's this large and looming. This reminds me of that sort of fear energy, or that sense of anticipation of something that might seem like this big looming mountain or big looming storm cloud when it's actually just a little anthill or something. So it seems to me with this particular card, and it doesn't come up that often, that there might be something that you're dealing with at the moment, Carol, that seems overwhelming or seems complicated or seems like it's too much. Maybe it isn't as much as you think. So you can conquer this. Yeah, and there's a commitment energy to this too, a commitment to seeing something through that's coming in. So as I tune into your energy, Carol, and I will be closing my eyes for most of this probably, or looking down, because I mean I'm only looking at myself. That sort of distracts me from connecting and really sensing and feeling the energy. So I don't need to be seeing me to be able to connect. So I will have my eyes closed a bit, so hopefully that's not too distracting for you. But as I connect and tune in with you, Carol, I feel an energy that's pulling over to the side in the head area, from the right over to the left. It feels a bit heavy. In fact, the more I notice this and talk about it, the heavier it feels, and it feels like a push on the head across to the side, and it feels like there's a tension at the back of the neck and a tension in the head as you're being pushed over. So why are you being pushed over, and what is pushing you over? It feels like a pressure. It's most likely connected with mental energy, so thoughts that you're having perhaps, or pressure that's been put onto you or that you're putting onto yourself, and it's kind of pushing you out of balance, especially on a mental level, but also it feels like it is affecting the head and the back of the neck. So the back of the neck feels quite tight and tense in here. So the back of the neck is in the zone of the throat chakra, and the throat chakra is our center for communication, expression and truth, and feeling safe to speak our truth and be who we are. And it does feel, actually, as I'm saying this, there's also energy that's moving here in the throat at the front. So there might be things that need to be said, might be air that needs to be cleared, there might be things that need to be set straight, or ground that needs to be stood in, you know, like stand your ground sort of feeling here, Carol, as well. And there might be something that needs to be said, or something clear that needs to be communicated, perhaps even with yourself, you know, like a clear decision, a clear commitment, or something that you establish within you that becomes clear and strong for you, a truth that you can then stand in and allow things to circle around you, things that are happening around you to move in accordance to that. It feels like you standing there like a rod or a pillar, and then things moving around you, like people doing their thing around you, and you're like this force, this stationary, strong, connected force within the circles and cycles of things. So it sort of feels interesting. It feels a little strange. So I hope this makes sense. And as I'm talking about this and you claiming your position and letting things sort of circle around you, it's like people that work beneath you, let's say, or people you manage, or things or tasks that you manage. These are happening, like all these little circles around you, and you're standing strong here, like this pillar, like a leader in this particular role that you play. But I feel like it's claiming your position, but mentally and verbally now, and this next step perhaps in adjustment or readjustment in this area of your life that feels like it might be knocking you off balance, especially mentally, with this pressure that you're putting on yourself. So as the pressure kind of backs off, which I'm feeling it is as I'm talking about this position, and you standing in your power as this leader and being the best leader that you can in this situation as you manage things, this then brings you more upright, which then takes or pushes this pressure back that I was feeling before. So that pressure backs off, and there's a strength that's coming up into the mind, and also a strength in muscle. So in your muscles themselves, in your neck here at the back, that felt quite tense before. So this feels like probably stress or pressure that you've been under. And so with all that sort of shifting away, it's brought a strength that's come through in your whole body here as you stand upright. And now, because you're in this aligned position, like this pillar, the universe opens up above you, and this beautiful bright orange light. So this is a surge of creativity. This bright light just pushes down from the universe above and comes down into your crown and down into your body as you stand here as this very erect pillar in your body, really holding and claiming and embodying and owning and grateful for this position that you are in right now. So as you receive this bright orange light, this just feels like a surge of creativity. I can't help but feel that, and it pushes down into all parts of your body, just down through your head, like your body's empty, like an empty cylinder, and it just pushes through and pushes down your spine, and then it pushes through your body. So it's like your spine is like that central core or that central column that's also been strengthened with this orange light, and then also on the outer part of that of your spine, of that central column, so in the rest of your body out to your skin, is also being filled with this orange light. So it feels like it's coming in sort of two layers, your central core and then the part that's expanded from that core for some reason. And it's pushing especially down through your hips now and helping you with creative direction. So it could also be creative thinking or doing things creatively or having a creative attitude especially, or a creative influence, let's say, in that leadership role that you're playing at this time. And then the orange energy moves down your legs and it's bringing real hot energy down there, like life force, like primal life force, little anchors, and then spreads out into your feet and out into your toes, like extending out from the tips of your toes, or the ends of your toes. So really helping you anchor into your position and hold in that position as best as you can in a creative, clear, and what's the word I'm looking for here? It feels like I want to go with something like this leader, this leadership energy, but there's something else that wants to come in, like this, claiming your position of authority in some ways, or your position of leadership, your position of manager, your position of leading the way in your life for yourself, but also for others. So just further embodying that feels like it's coming in. Let's see which healing energy card wants to be added here to finish this up. So I trust that resonates and supports you, Carol. Thank you very much. Your best card to add here is this from the first deck. Oh yes, it's self-acceptance. So I was very much drawn to the flower. This card hasn't come up that much either, since I've had the new decks printed. Self-acceptance. So there's an unfolding, an opening, an unfurling, an opening of sorts here that I'm feeling from this card. It says assistance with weight loss, clearing emotional baggage and blocked creativity, and acceptance and stomach area healing. So this is finding a sense of acceptance about yourself and who you are and where you are at this time. So I trust this supports you. Thanks so much, Carol. Namaste. Okay. Oh, I just blew your name down, so I guess that saves me moving it. So let's see, who's the next person? It's getting a bit hot. The next person is this person. And it is you, Robin. So I don't know if you're still here, but Robin, hopefully you don't blow away in the wind here, your name. Actually, I don't even think you're going to sit there. I'll put you down here. Okay, Robin, take a nice big breath. You've got a lot of love coming in, I can feel. It's like a really subtle love. It's all encompassing encompassing. Not sure how to pronounce it, but I know how to read it. This all-encompassing love that's coming into your heart and into that middle part of your body, into your torso. So your best healing energy card to start this connection today is from the first deck, and it's manifest. So it's bringing something into form, bringing something to life, bringing an idea into reality, bringing something you've been working on behind the scenes into actuality. So there's something tangible about this energy of the manifest card. Let's actually chuck your name in behind that card so it stays. Birth the new in physical form. Okay, Robin, take a nice big breath. Okay, so this love that's coming in, it feels like big wings, big angel wings. I'm not really an angel person, but it feels like big soft wings of an angel, like so soft and just so loving. And they're coming in here from the front and into your heart, but it's not just your heart as this little space here, it's your whole body, and really sort of from your armpits down to your hips. So all that sort of torso area is just being filled and encompassed and held in these big angel-like wings, or big soft white wings which feel like love. So you've got this love and support that's coming in so strongly around you, and helping keep you, and especially keep your core strong and supported. Literally supported so it stays up, but also supported, supporting you through, holding you through, helping carry you through the things that you've been through and the things that you're going through now. So there is this sense of support, like being propped up kind of feeling here, but it feels like it's really strengthening and it's holding you through. And the visual I get is, like in the ballet or in dancing, where your partner might lift you up in this area and lift you up over their head kind of thing. So there is some real like strength, this real support, but it does feel like a propping up of sorts, someone carrying you through, this force, this energy, love carrying you through, which feels really really quite beautiful actually. There's this just this deep knowing that you are definitely not alone. You're certainly not alone. In fact, you might be the only one in the room, but you have the room full of beings and full of support that's around you. There is so much support around you. It's like almost tangible, like I'm sensing it. It's so strong. So holding you up, let's look at that area first, in the central part of that, which is at the solar plexus. So if you were a dancer and you had a dance partner and they lifted you up, that sort of lifts you up, it feels like around that middle of your belly. So right there at your solar plexus chakra. And this is your power center, and you're being held there. And I feel like a lot of this too is you holding yourself and you working your way through just with your mentality and your attitude. That there's probably been quite low times where you probably haven't really felt it, but I can feel your attitude and your beliefs and your truths around things has been very strong, and this has also been a real strong support that you've offered yourself. So if you're feeling support in yourself and you can offer that to you, then you're going to feel more supported too from others around you. So there's probably a lot of support that you're tapping into at the moment. And I feel the crux of that, like the real center of it, comes from the support in attitude that you offer yourself. Whatever that attitude is, pull up your socks, let's get on with things. This kind of attitude that you have, perhaps since you were a child. And maybe you had role models in parents, perhaps, or in your upbringing or your earlier adult life that kind of drilled these attitudes into you. And I feel like these are real force, little keys of strength and support that you can then tap into and pluck out when things do feel weak and vulnerable for you. So there's something very strong about that and your attitude moving through. And I almost feel like, these wings which have turned into hands, propping you up or supporting you like your partner holding you up in a dance. I almost feel like these are your hands, your hands holding and supporting yourself in your solar plexus, so your power center. So there is a real strong sense of strength that's coming in here, strength to your core, You know, this is foundational. This is who you are. This is your personality, your character that will help see you through. Now, I'm really drawn to the area that then extends from there. So I'm looking at the solar plexus. If you're up in the air and sort of being held, you know, like on the movie Dirty Dancing, where baby's being held up in the air there at the end, and you're sort of frozen there for now, like we're holding that position. So you've got strong hands holding you here in your around your sides at your solar plexus zone, and then I'm really drawn to that end from the solar plexus, so the middle of your so your sides all the way down to your feet, and it feels very fluent, like very graceful, like almost like a wisp of energy. And as the energy moves further away from your middle, as it gets closer to your feet, it becomes even more like a wisp. So if I imagine this, if I wanted to draw a picture of this right now, I'd see a figure, a male-like figure holding you up, because it feels strong, holding you up here in the sides, and then you, from the head down to the belly to the solar plexus, you feel like really tangible. I could touch you, you know, like I could poke at you. But then from there down to your feet are really quite translucent. So it would be like this energy that is quite formed, and then it becomes less formed and less formed as it gets to the feet. And then it's just a wisp of energy that wisps past your feet and wisps sort of off into the air. And as it wisps off, it feels very magenta, so very pink-like, which is also bringing that love in. So what does this mean? That's a very good question that I need to ask. So there's a lot of strength, and okay, so what does it mean, this energy that feels like it wisps off and fades off at your feet? It feels so nice, and it feels so light, and it feels so loving. And you might feel perhaps a little ungrounded at this time. Maybe you're trying to get your bearings. Maybe you're trying to put your feet down, or put your body down, or put yourself down, root yourself down somewhere in your life, because it does feel a little ungrounded, even though it feels strong and supportive. So I feel like you're being reminded and encouraged to trust in the unfolding, trust in your core foundations of who you are, and trust that you've been led in the right direction. And somewhere where then this dancer can put you down, your feet will then plant themselves on the ground, and you can feel rooted again. So I wouldn't be surprised if you feel a bit ungrounded and you're looking for a place to root, a place to put your roots down. It doesn't matter that you don't have anywhere to put your roots down now, if that's what's happening for you. I feel like enjoy the dance, enjoy the movement, enjoy the form as it turns into the formless, enjoy the tangible energy as it also fades into potential. I mean, this is all potential now, and it's very exciting, even though it can be unsettling. So, and that's interesting actually with the manifest card. Bring your ideas into reality. This is manifesting something in physical form and transforming something, bringing it into, you know, really grounding it and rooting it into physical reality. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're in the process of doing that on some level in your life. So I trust that resonates and makes sense, Robin. Let's grab a card to add here at the end. So the best card to add here as we finish up, Robin, is it's this from the first deck, and we have expansion, card 3. This is in the rise category up here, and it says star and galactic connections. Reconnect with your star home. This is very much that energy that I feel really sort of flowing off the edge of your feet as you're being held in this position. Expand your perceptions, lift up, find the bigger picture, and get perspective of the situation. So this is an expanded viewpoint of how things might be at this time for you. But this is certainly that lighter energy that feels not quite as tangible as other things at this time. So this is full of potential. It's full of potential expansion for you as a being. So I'd be very interested to know if this makes any sense. So thank you, Robin, and thanks for your support. And namaste. Okay, next person on the list today is this person. It's Susan Sonsteng. Okay, Susan, I'll put you under my toe so you don't blow away like the other two slips of paper have. So the best card to start this connection, Susan, is this. It's from the second deck, and we have Flowing Free. That reminds me of the wind just coming carrying these other names out down further into my studio here. So it's in neutral up here, and it says complete surrender. In surrender there is peace. Move with each step, participate actively in your life, and you can trust in the direction that you're going. So flowing free. Okay, Susan, nice big breath. And there is a movement that's coming in from behind. It feels like a breeze, and the breeze is picking up. In fact, let's work with it. The breeze feels like it's picking up here behind me, and it feels like you're being blown forward. Like the breeze is blowing, you know, like the autumn leaves that fall, blowing the leaves forward. So there's this sense of being blown forward. So there's something that's pulling you forward, and there is this feeling of flow and movement at the moment, and almost like your feet are not even stepping, like almost like your feet are like you've got roller skates on or something, and you're just rolling with it. So just rolling with the breeze and letting the breeze guide you. And in fact, it reminds me straight away of that butterfly card in my Speed of Light Oracle, the butterfly card where she's got this butterfly wings extending from her heart, and she's got her eyes looking up. So it feels like sails on a yacht or sails on a boat, and the sails are picking up that wind that's coming from behind and bringing her forward. And you know, like on roller skates or in a boat gliding across the water, the wind, the universe is carrying you forward. So there does seem to be this, I don't know if ease is quite the right word, but there does tend to be this sort of ease of flow at the moment for you, Susan. I feel that there's not really an obstacle in your way. And if there are things that are stopping some parts of your life, then I feel like this is part of that flow. And you've been encouraged to really move with the things that are moving in the direction that seems to be happening fairly easily at this time. And it almost feels to me like you're on roller skates, you've got these sort of wings on your back, and the breeze is picking them up and just moving you. You're not actually having to skate, you're just sort of rolling forward with some ease or some flow to this. And it feels like there are like boxes, like moving boxes that are just kind of on your path, and you're just pushing those out of the way as you move forward. So I feel like you're pushing obstacles out of the way, you're pushing burdens potentially out of the way, things that you might have previously stopped and worried about have probably been pushed out of the way. It also makes me feel like there's something that you're focusing on, like something that's moving you forward, something that's giving you incentive to keep going, incentive to look ahead. Maybe it's a goal or a project or something you've got coming up that you're looking forward to, that's giving you a clarity of path here, because it feels like there's nothing in your way and you're just moving out of the way as you go. So things are moving. So what can you do? Work with this energy as best as you can. As you're moving forward and as you're flowing here and as you're skating forward, I feel this stuff like steam or a smoke that's kind of extending off your back, leaving across the whole back of your body. I feel that there are things that are leaving as you're going forward. So perhaps your insecurities, your self-doubt or issues you've had previously do you feel like they're sort of, I don't know quite what the right word is, but they're leaving you. So like burning up as you move forward, but burning up from behind. And some of the smoke's a bit black, especially the smoke around the back of the solar plexus. So as you let go of your feeling of being powerless, or your lack of self-confidence, your lack of strength that you've had before. As you let that go, it's just like leaving like black smoke coming out of the back, out of your middle back here. The back of your solar plexus is just burning up and burning away, and then you're just focused on where you're going. So as you're moving forward too, I'm feeling this energy just clearing through the front. You're clearing out through the back of your body, especially stuff from the past, and you're just moving forward until you get to the T-junction, which is some ways away, I feel. So there's a T-junction coming, and then you'll probably have a decision to make, you know, do I go left or left or right? And that will be a topic for another day, but that's where I feel like you're heading. You're heading to the decision point. You're heading to the T-junction up ahead. So keep flowing. This feels really, really nice. And any obstacles that pop up, just see if you can imagine just pushing them out of the way, because it feels like that might be reasonably easy to do at this time, especially compared to the past. So the best card to add here for you, Susan, is this from the second deck. And it's this. It's Create New Space. I really love this card. It's card 66. It's in the rest category. And it says, make the room, make the space, make the time. Empty out the old, no excuses. Heal, create, self-care, inner growth, spring clean and support. And you know what really inspired this card? Was when I was driving across our capital city's major bridge, and I was on my way to a workshop or something, and I was passing this ute, or this small truck, if you're in another part that's not Australia, but we call them utes here, a ute with a trailer, an empty trailer with a big cage, had a big cage on the back for hay or straw or whatever. And I was just looking at that. I was driving sort of behind for a little bit, and I was looking at the space that was there and the potential of that space that's there, a space to put things in, a space to, you know, you clear the clutter out so you can make the room to bring some new things into our life. And just with the movement of that vehicle that I'm remembering, the movement of the vehicle, which feels similar to the movement that I'm feeling here, like you on the roller skates being pushed forward within the wind by the breeze here, Susan, and the moving boxes being pushed out of the way. They're not even that heavy. You just sort of tap them away as you move past. Like, I'm not worrying about that now. This is not my problem, that kind of thing. And what you're doing is it feels like you've got a clear path here. You're going, you've got flow as well, but also you're creating space, because as you clear this stuff off the back of your body, your own issues, especially around the past and about who you are, about yourself, and as you push these boxes out of the way, you're actually making space. So when you get to that T-junction and you have a decision to make, you're going to have room then to be able to make the best decision that you can make at that point in time. And I don't know what sort of decision it's going to be, but all I can see is that it's a T-junction, and you'll be choosing to go left or right. So there might be a junction point where you have to make a decision. It could be a decision you make easily. You might even already know which way you're going to go, but I feel like this lead up is helping you be in the best space to make the best decision that you can. So at the moment, you're creating new space. You're clearing out the old. So this feels very exciting and very refreshing, Susan. So I trust this resonates and supports you. And thank you so much. Okay, so let's grab a drink. Oh, thanks, Susan. Oh, hi, Nikki. Oh, that's nice. Okay, let's see who's next. I've got 3 more people on the list, so you're very welcome to stay if you're not one of those people. And if you are one of those people, I look forward to connecting with you at the right time. Kanti, you're next. So KantiDevi, nice big breath. Certainly some quite light energy that's coming in. Maybe it helps being here with this breeze behind me too. Maybe that's also part of that light energy that's coming in. But Kanti, take a nice big breath and let's see which healing energy card you need. We'll go with this one here from the second deck, and it's Call for Help, card 77. So this is asking for help with something that you may not know how to proceed with. So don't be afraid to ask for help with something. Let help come. Communicate, ask, make the announcement, put a signal out that you need help with something. Don't feel that you have to try and figure everything out on your own. There are people that have experience and knowledge and information that can most likely and very likely help you unstick yourself with whatever it is that you're stuck with. That's what it feels like. It feels like something's stuck, like sticky, like a really sticky paper that a fly might fly into, and then it sticks there, or we might put our fingers on it and our fingers stick there for a bit and we've got to sort of pull them off. So something very sticky, something a bit stuck here. So it feels like calling out for help, or when you're ready, and maybe you should do this before you're even ready, because it feels like maybe you've put this off for long enough. But that's just the feeling that I have, that maybe it's time to just make the time to reach out and do an announcement, do a call for help in some way, so that you can take that sticky paper away and look and see what's on the other side. So the sticky paper feels white and extremely sticky, like the stickiest paper or the stickiest stuff that you've stuck your fingers into. It feels like the stickiest thing that you could imagine. A sticky, and you know, we can still move our hand away from it. It doesn't sort of glue us there, but it sticks a little bit or enough for us to actually have to pull away. So that's how sticky it feels, and it's this white sheet of very sticky paper, and it feels like I feel it over here to the left side, and then when I feel where is that in relation to the body, it feels like it's on the right side, on this kind of vulnerable side of the body here on the right. So on the side here again, we're looking at, so from sort of the right hip up to under the right arm, sort of through here, that's where it feels like it's stuck. Something feels sticky here, and in fact it feels a little tender through this area as well. And I feel like it's sticky on the other side. So I actually want to peel this sticky off. It's like double-sided sticky, and you put your arm down and you're stuck to it. And so there's this just annoyance about this, and this stuck feeling about this stickiness. So I feel like the top of the sticky comes here just at the front of under the arm. So we'll peel this off. It's like a rectangle. It's very straight edge. Peel it off down your side like we're peeling off, you know, a strip of wax or something from this side of your body, and pulling it down to the lower part, just above your hip, where we get that right off, and we drop that down to the ground, where it then soaks back into the earth and returns back to love. And I feel like it's pulled some stuff away, and it feels like quills of an echidna or a porcupine or a hedgehog that have been stuck into you from the side, and it feels like little pins that you've been putting into your side over the years since you were very, very little. Flaws and issues and things that you've felt about yourself, like self-attack that's been stabbed in here, and there's a lot of them. And I feel this sticky has actually been a blessing, because it's caught that, it's stuck to those little quills and needles, and it's pulled those out. So we've pulled out a bunch of sharp things that you've been poking yourself with over the years energetically, and they have been pulled out. So now you have all these sort of holes. There must be about a dozen of them in various places on the side here that have just come out with the sticky. Okay, so what do we need to do here? So my spiritual surgeon Marion has stepped forward, and he stepped in just at the back right side of you, and with your arm sort of up or out. He's got a very big hand. Very big right hand just down, sort of from your armpit, just down that side to the top of your hip. And as he runs his hand down, he puts like this coating, and it's like a silk or a, you know, it's like a, a bubble. If you look at a bubble, and it looks a bit like a sheet, but I mean, you could poke it and pop it easily, so it's very fragile. But it looks a bit like the surface of a bubble, but it's flat, and he's just like pulls this down over this side like just a wrapping of sorts, a coating, like a layer, a very thin layer of energy. And this energy, and it feels quite bubble-like, it soaks up into all those little holes where these pins were. Some of the pins were short, like little thumbtack kind of pins. Some were really long, like really long needles. And I can feel a really long one came in your side and really pierced in the side of your heart here. So something very personal that you probably quite personally thought about yourself, that has been very private, that has been quite the self-attack that's also revealing itself here. So all those little holes are now being filled up. So this energy that he's sort of smearing on here is soaking into those holes. Feels very soft, sort of pink, a bit like a champagne sort of colour. So very soft and very loving that's coming in. And now he just continues his hand down further over your hip and just around to the back of your hip just a little bit, and then he lifts it off. And he now steps back. So I just offer him our thanks for stepping forward and assisting. Okay, now I'm seeing an hourglass, which shows me that the time is right for you to really consider doing something. And I'm guessing it's this call for help. So this help that you need with something that just seems very overwhelming at this time. And it might be something fairly trivial, but it's not trivial to you. So I feel like you're being called to, that now is the time, really. It feels like the timing is right for this, for you to take the plunge and take the step into the unknown, and wherever that's going to lead you in your life. It feels like it's an important milestone. It's an important juncture on your path here, Kanti. Okay, let's see which card now wants to be added. Still feels quite tender down this side, so you might find that for the next couple of days as the energy shifts out and the new energy comes in its place. So the best healing energy card to add here at this point for you, Kanti, is this from the first deck. And it's playfulness. It's lifting your spirits, surrendering to the moment, laughing, enjoying life, creativity, surrendering, clearing your mind, make time to play, and lighten up. So there's something light that wants to come in, and there is this lightness around. I mean, these previous two connections with Susan and Robin were really quite light and uplifting, and this lightness now wants to come in here now for you, Kanti. And so you're being uplifted. You know, it's not going to be as bad and terrible and difficult and impossible as you might think. So once you get over and get the steps going, once you meet the right person or the right people, or do the correct research or whatever it is to give you the information that you're looking for, then that's going to help you feel more reassured that you're going the right direction, that it's going to work out. So upliftment. Very nice. Thanks, Kanti. I trust this resonates and supports you. Thanks so much. Namaste. Okay, so I have two more people on the list. If you would like to be a part of this next month, you can learn more about it at my Patreon page, which you can find the link in the video description. So it's a $50 level or higher will automatically put you into this personal healing event that happens towards the end of each month. It's actually happening a bit earlier than usual because I'll be away, and I didn't want to book things on my weekend, except for the healing event for tomorrow. Plus, it's a short month. So that's always a bit strange for February, isn't it? Like, it's several days shorter than some of the other months. So the next person is Jane. Jane Corlett. Shut this a bit now. Okay, Jane, nice big breath. And the best card to start this connection is this from the second deck. Oops. and it's traditions. So this is traditions, history, looking at the past, learning from the past, researching from the past, the passing of knowledge and values and stories on, sharing experience, that kind of thing. It's a little bit more conservative in nature, a bit more patriarch in nature as well. You know, the wisdom and maturity of the elders, that kind of thing. So what can we learn from the traditions, basically, is what this card's about. Because I really feel there's a time for a balance, you know, like, or I try and find the balance between, say, the conservative and the progressive sort of attitude or mentality, and trying to work those energies together rather than having them opposite or oppose each other, which seems to be quite strong at the moment. So there's a place for both, is the feeling here. So we don't go back into making mistakes like we did in the past. So traditions is coming up. Why is it coming up? It feels like there's something stable that wants to come into your life, something stabilizing that wants to come forward for you, Jane. Something wants to settle, something wants to stabilize, something wants to, there's a security feeling here as well. Something wants to settle. And how I'm feeling this to be, like visually, is it feels to me like at your waist, it's almost like your body split into two. So at your waist, the waist half, the top half of your body is slightly raised from the lower part. And the stabilizing, secure kind of energy I'm talking about feels like it just brings that upper part back down to the waist. And it doesn't necessarily feel like there's a big disconnect within yourself, but I feel like there's something that's sort of lifted away, or lifted. It might be a hope that's gone. It might be feeling pessimistic, or thinking that something's not going to work out, or this isn't just not going to happen because of whatever reason. So there's just some disconnect here. Something's lifted away, and the energy wants to come and just sort of stabilize and gently bring that part back down. So as that part comes back down or reconnects in some ways, back at your waist and back to the lower part of your body, to your legs and such, it does bring this grounded feeling. There's a tree-like feeling here too, something very solid and very vertical like a tree, and very the roots like a tree are also coming in around your feet and just under your feet. So there's something very grounding that's wanting to come in. I feel like there's energy that's shaking around your shoulders, like a shimmer, what do you call it? A shimmy in belly dancing, or some shaking, like vibrating here through your shoulders to really break up the, it's like a mud that's caked up here on top of your shoulders. This is burden that you're carrying. So the shaking here and the, you know, the loosening up of this is just sort of vibrating this away. So it feels like mud, dried up mud, is breaking away from your shoulders and dropping down to the ground, as it's almost like a bit of a tremble in your body that's breaking that away. So this is burden that's been stacking up, and because it feels like the mud went there very wet, it's probably emotional burden that you are carrying, especially emotional and physical. So your emotional concerns about your physical life or your physical body or your future or your security, that sort of thing, has been layered up and stacked up here. So it felt like it was probably half a foot of just stacked up, dried up mud here that then has been shaken away. So this is shaken away like your shoulders were a tremble plate, and broken up and shifting down. There's energy too at the very, your middle back here, right there, almost at a pinpoint place at your spine. So it's very focused, a very small area right in the middle of your back, and it feels like the area where they did my epidural, 2 epidurals that I had. It feels like right there, like right in that very specific place that feels very tender and very like there's a laser point somehow that feels like it's pointing in there. So what do we need to do with that? So we need to get that energy away, the energy that feels like it's sort of poking and pointing in there. So pulling that out and away. and just strengthening this area. It feels actually a bit weakened through there, like a bit weakened in the muscle kind of area. So just bringing some strength through to this area. This is the back of your solar plexus chakra as well. So probably old issues, old power issues, or feeling powerless is probably coming with that, or feeling unconfident in the past, but something fairly significant. So that's been strengthened, and you might find it helpful to work on exercises perhaps, if it's possible and you're inspired to help strengthen your middle back because it feels weakened. So helping strengthen that and bringing your strength through that area feels important, and that's going to help give you the strength that you need to actually, and that's almost in that area of your waist, isn't it? So when I feel the waist and then come around, it's pretty much in that same area, which felt like it was raised from the other part of your body previously. So it's in that same zone. There's probably a weak area around here at your waist that could really do with some strengthening so that it doesn't sort of break away or disconnect like energetically, and then bring forward feelings of insecurity and instability and that kind of thing that can potentially be triggered by such a breakaway, if you like. So strengthening through there feels important. So bringing strength to that specific point, but then all around that area of your waist that felt like that disconnect point, a weakened area it feels. So strengthening through there, I think physically is probably going to be very helpful if that's something you're inspired to do. Okay. Okay, so now that strengthening energy has come through and that pin prick of a laser point energy has shifted through the back of your solar plexus at your spine there. Now just focusing on this grounding, this stability that wants to come in. So it's sort of pulling you down, but it's not pulling you down in that literal sort of way. It's pulling you down to the earth, and it's pulling you down into your body, down into the present moment, even down deeper into the earth, under the ground, into the roots, into the core of the earth, down into the depths is where you're being called. So pulling you down, locking you down into those very physical things, getting you out of your head and out of, flying away with things mentally, and bringing you down to earth again in a real practical way is the feeling. So you're being pulled down instead of lifting up and disconnecting. So I trust that makes sense. Jane, let's grab a card and see what that wants to add here. Oops. Okay, the best card to finish and add to this part of our journey for you, Jane, is this. Let's go with this card. It's from the second deck. And it's this. There we go. New power rising. That's interesting. So I would even reword that and say something like new power deepening. Like there's something more physical, something deeper that's calling, rather than a power that's rising and wants to lift up. This is a power that's calling you down and deeper and deeper and deeper. So I feel that energy pulling you deeper into yourself. You've probably got music that will call you. It's like a pulsation, like a drum, like a rumbling in the earth. Really listen to the calling. You might feel really short. You're really drawn down into the earth, drawn down to nature, drawn down into your body. Drawn to things like whales and the deep parts of the ocean, or underwater cities like Atlantis or something like that. You might feel just really drawn to these deep places. Caves and that sort of thing. It says you're the conqueror of obstacles, bravery. A tough situation has made you stronger, resilience, responsibility, true power, and the momentum building. And I'd say the deep momentum wants to build. So this is what comes. It almost feels like this represents your body that's sort of disconnected at the waist before, and we've brought that energy down and in now. So definitely replace rising with depth, and I'd also switch that around in this case with that light, that circle being down in the depth category. So new power deepening. Feels really cool actually. So I trust that makes sense for you, Jane. Thanks so much. Thanks for your support, and namaste. Okay, that means I'm going to have another quick drink, and our lucky last person must be you, Nikki. Let's just get your name out so that we've got it here. I think the breeze didn't stop. Yes, Nikki, it's you. Nice big breath. And let's see what comes up for you today. Oh, the twists and the turns. That's what I'm being drawn to straight away. The twists and the turns. Okay, the best card to start this connection is this. And it's this. It's stillness. Card 26. It says self-healing, inner peace, silence and meditation may be helpful. Self-discipline, self-control, prayer, quiet, throat chakra, and be at peace. Be at peace. So there's this stillness that wants to come in and calm things down is the feeling. There's a highlight here around the throat. So this sense of feeling or finding peace in regards to who you are. There is also energy that's lifting up here through the crown. So these are your connections to spirit, your connections to yourself, your connections to others, your connections to life. So these are really want to open up. As you find peace in yourself, then that will help strengthen your connections to spirit. Thanks, Robin. Hi, Martin. Thanks, Susan. Okay, Nikki. So I do feel this twisting and turning, and it feels like this twisting and turning. God, there's so much energy coming in today around the torso. Have we done that with every single person? I don't know. I don't think there's a focus on me around that. Maybe there is a connection. I don't know, but I'm trusting perfect timing here. But there is this twisting feeling at the torso that I'm feeling in the body here, like these twists and turns. But it feels like twists and turns in life, and this twist here and this turn there and this twist here and turn there, and now it's extending from the body's twisting and turning to the path, twists and turns, and it feels like going around like bends and hills and corners on a really windy road. A windy gravel road, it feels, and it continues off into the distance, and it's very dry and very sandy kind of gravel as it twists and turns off, up and down to the side, left and to the right, off, trailing off as far as the eye can see. And I feel that's your past. Now hold on a minute. Now I'm feeling like we're the wrong way around, because it feels like now something's topsy-turvy. Because I'm actually feeling this is the path that you've come from, are the twists and turns. And so if I imagine turning and putting my back to that, which would be the past, and looking ahead, there's something bright out here. So it feels like for some reason, Nikki, I don't know if you have been feeling like you're walking backwards, or you feel like you just can't get past the twists and turns of the past. And if a part of you thinks that these twists and turns are going to also make up your future, there's something a bit topsy-turvy here. Something's not quite the right way around. And, sometimes too, this may be relevant, but just as another example from a different angle, sometimes we can easily point the finger at someone and say, oh, that person's, the thing that comes to mind is has communication issues and can't communicate clearly or whatever it is. And then once we stop finger pointing and we actually look in the mirror, we might see actually a lot of that is coming from us, like we actually don't know how to communicate with ourselves. So sometimes it's easy to see things the way that and perceive things the way that we want to perceive them, even though it might not be quite true. So there's something that feels like it's amiss, something that's topsy-turvy, something's around the wrong way. And I feel actually now that I'm facing the front of your path and not facing front on your past, it feels like there's something actually bright that wants to open here. I can feel this bright open field that's extending out on the path. It's widening It's expanding. I see a horizon, the horizon line forward. So there's something new on the horizon here as well that's going to help expand you. And behind you are these twists and turns and bumps and the winding road that you have journeyed to get to here. And as I now feel that that's behind you, it's in the past. I feel the wind coming in and actually blowing all the the dry, sandy gravel that made that winding road. The wind comes and just blows it all away, and it's just been blown away now. And now there's just the faint track of where that was before. It doesn't feel as heavy and as real as it did before, because it actually feels like it's behind you now. It's not where you're going. It's not what's happening probably so much now as what you think. And it's certainly not what's coming up. So it is perhaps where you've been, but you're moving out of that. So now it's about getting out of the habit, it feels like, of thinking that everything is twists and turns and everything's going to go round in circles and everything's windy and bumpy and rough. It doesn't have to be that way. So I feel like this is like the juncture point of the shift in attitude and the shifting of perspective, and things seeming like they're this way when actually they're that way. So think outside the box perhaps too, Nicki, and see if that supports you with this. But your path ahead is clear and it's open, and the horizon brings new things. So there's something really quite open, and something opening too inside you. The twisting and turning has finished, which feels like there was a lot of tension in that. Like there was a lot of stress and tension in the twists and the turns that were playing out here. And in fact, this is where the stillness card comes into play, because this is now, I felt, brought the calm through that now has allowed you perhaps to open up to that new perspective and the new path ahead. And there are arrows. So as I close my eyes, I see an arrow pulling you forward. So there's new direction that's coming up, and you know, you're continuing to move forward from that old path and off that dry, dusty, winding road. So enjoy the space that you're in now as you move out of that space, that tense time that you've been in, and into a more open, expanded potential that's available. And your boundaries are secure as you do this, which I feel is important. So let's see what else we need to add here for you, Nicki. I trust this makes sense. It's interesting. Let's see which card you need to add here. So the best card to finish this off for you, Nicki, is oh, beautiful. Okay, so the best card to add here is this. And if you have been walking those paths, Nicki, it's probably, you know, this is and you've probably already been doing it, but this is also a good opportunity for you to really shift your perspective of where you are in life, especially in regards to past and future. And your card is this. Oh, there we go, Spiral of Grace. This is literally moving off the wheel of karma and things that go round and round in patterns, you know, the difficulties, and this is very path related, and moving up into the expanding spiral of grace. So then the path goes from going around and around and around the same circle, the same wheel that triggers and the patterns that we encounter and the issues that we face in life, and then we lift up out of that and into like a spiraling path that's expanding. And this is a lot like that expansion path I felt coming out from the front of you, out from your heart. And in this card, it's expanding like a spiral above you. So you're lifting up above the hurt and above the pain now. It says lifting out of karmic patterns, old wounds, and the past, transforming fear into love, letting the past go, lighten your load, and release your separation issues. This is so on point for what I've just been connecting with and what I've just been feeling in regards to the shift in path and the shift in the past and the shift in perspective. There seems to be quite the big perspective shift that's taking place for you, Nicki. So the only thing new here is releasing separation issues. So maybe consider too where you've been feeling separate or disconnected within yourself and your life or from other people, and how you can resolve that and reconnect with those parts of you and those people in your life that you can reconnect to, that have you've been feeling separate or disconnected from, and including spirit. You know, these walks that you're doing are probably helpful to connect to spirit, to connect to yourself, and really shift your perspective through. So this is a really quite powerful time of transformation, it feels like. So thanks, Nicki. I trust this supports you, and thank you so much for your support. Namaste. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today, and big thank you to those of you on my Patreon personal healing list. I will be back next month for the March one later in the month, so I might see you then if you're inspired to stay connected, or if you'd like to join up, then I'd really love to connect with you. Tomorrow you'll find our healing list event for some more of my patrons at the same time, same place, tomorrow, the next day. So I might see you then. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.